shut this down with a clear statement that can't be twisted? Will Yandy keep applying pressure and drawing a hard line publicly, or will she decide to handle it privately and let the noise burn itself out? Will mendeecees finally give one straight explanation that doesn't sound like damage control, or will he keep changing the tone every time the timeline drags him? And what about Tamar? Will she ignore the chatter and act unbothered, or will she clap back again and risk turning this into an even bigger back and forth? And then there's the wildcard factor. If more receipts get teased, will they actually be shown, or is the internet just building suspense off rumors and half-stories? Either way, fans are shocked at how messy this has gotten, and emotions ran high for a reason. When you mix accusations, ego, public embarrassment, and people who feel disrespected, the family gets left divided, the fan base splits into teams, and every next move becomes a headline. Now, I want you to do this. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this whole thing is being exaggerated for attention, or do you think there's real smoke behind the rumors? If you were Yandy, would you address it publicly or keep it private? And if you were Tamar, would you stay silent or clear your name loud and direct? I'm really trying to see where you stand on this, because the timeline is not agreeing on anything right now. Make sure you like this video if you want more reality TV tea broken down in a way that actually makes sense. Subscribe so you don't miss the next update, and turn your notifications on, because if anyone drops a new statement, this story could flip overnight. Share this with a friend who lives for the drama. And remember, in these reality TV streets, the truth always comes out eventually. It just depends on who tells it first.
Yeah, she and I had a thing. It was stupid, but it happened, and I feel bad about it.
Hold up, because the reality TV streets are on fire right now, and the names getting dragged into this mess have fans literally picking sides in real time. Online chatter is swirling that Tamar Braxton is being accused of giving mendeecees an STI after an alleged one-night link-up, and the moment that claim hit the timeline,
Part of the problem with this whole thing was, Tamar, is that I was never comfortable with the relationship that you and mendeecees had in front of me, okay? All of that, you at the music video shoot in your booty shorts, sitting on top of him meeting us up at restaurants every time we met up, I was very uncomfortable.
Everything exploded. To be clear, these are allegations and internet reports. Nothing has been confirmed as fact, but that hasn't stopped people from reacting like it's the season finale nobody asked for. What makes it even crazier? mendeecees is catching heat from every angle. Tamar's "I barely know him" comments are being replayed nonstop, and Yandy, she's reportedly not staying quiet at all. The way the internet tells it, emotion.
Gonna say that didn't happen. We gonna sit up here and say, after he was digging in between your thighs at that roof, Chris, and he got up and went to the bathroom, that the conversation was, y'all, I can't. He just my friend. He just my friend. I can't. I mean, and then I said, Tamar, ain't he married? He ain't married. They not married. They just do that for the
ran high, threats started flying, and folks are saying receipts are waiting in the wings. Add Funky Dineva in the mix, and suddenly this isn't just gossip. It's a full-blown public meltdown with reputations on the line. So the question is, who's lying, who's panicking, and who's about to get exposed next? The moment the rumor hit the timeline, it moved like wildfire, the kind that does not ask permission before it starts burning through everybody's name. Blogs started posting vague captions, fan pages started dropping "heard it from a source" hints, and suddenly Tamar Braxton's name was sitting right next to mendeecees in the messiest way possible. Nothing about it was confirmed, nothing about it was backed by a medical record or a statement from a doctor, but that did not stop people from acting like
they started putting you two together. Do you and mendeecees have like anything beyond this film? Or?
No, to be honest, I barely even know him.
Okay.
to be honest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not like, we're cool, but
Yeah.
we're not like my homie. You know what I mean?
Right,
it's not
right.
like that. And he just got casted in a film, and here we are.
watched it happen with their own eyes. The language online was sharp and reckless. Tamar gave him an STI. Yandy is about to crash out. mendeecees is finally caught for real this time. And in the middle of all that noise, there was one thing everyone kept repeating like a chant.
Yeah, she and I had a thing. It was stupid, but it happened, and I feel bad about it.
These are allegations, but the drama feels real. What made the chatter hit harder was the way it lined up with the cheating accusation that was already swirling. According to what people were saying, Mendeecees had supposedly been moving too friendly around Tamar during a night out, and Yandy had apparently been uncomfortable for a while, not just one time, but multiple times. Fans pulled up old clips and random party footage, zooming in like detectives, insisting you could see the tension in the room. "Look at Yandy's face," they wrote. "She's been peeping this." Others argued it was all being exaggerated for clicks, but even the skeptics admitted the situation looked messy, especially once Mendeecees' so-called confession quote started getting reposted everywhere. "Yeah, she and I had a thing."
Just got word in real time, can have me. He says, "I can't even front no more. I'll let you have," she said, "I'll let you have me." He said, "We'll see." And then she goes, "I will." She's from North Carolina, by the way. He goes, "You know, you be busy." And then she goes, "So you don't want me?" And then he goes, "I do, absolutely."
It was stupid, but it happened, and I feel bad about it. Nobody knew where the line between reality TV storytelling and real-life embarrassment ended anymore, and that is exactly why fans could not look away. And then there was Tamar's side of it, at least the part that people claimed was her side. In the clips getting circulated, she was portrayed as brushing it off, acting like she barely knew Mendeecees beyond casual industry overlap. That statement became gasoline, because the internet does not like a calm denial when it feels like it has already built a case. Commenters started saying, "How you barely know him if you were out with him? And why are there videos of y'all laughing like cousins at a cookout?" Again, none of that proved anything, but it fueled the narrative that Tamar was trying to downplay a link-up that had already escaped the room it happened in. Yandy, meanwhile, was being described online as done with the polite version of herself. People claimed she was dragging both of them, not quietly, not in the background, but with the kind of energy that makes friends stop answering their phones because they do not want to get pulled into the crossfire. Fans said she was furious that Tamar allegedly played friendly in her face, and even more furious that Mendeecees kept acting like boundaries were optional. The comment sections turned into war zones, one side screaming that Yandy had every right to be heated, the other side saying she should be mad at her man first. And right there is where the stakes got personal, because if you believe the online chatter, Yandy's anger was not just about cheating. It was also about respect, public humiliation, and the way people feel when their relationship gets turned into entertainment for strangers. The STI allegation took things from messy to explosive, and that is where the tone shifted from regular reality TV drama into something darker and more damaging. People online were repeating the claim like it was a verified headline, and the smarter viewers kept reminding everyone, allegation.
What's the girl name? Angie, that's married at MTK, and I seen them a few other places. And I got pictures too. I usually just mind my business. But tonight you really tried it. I told you nothing. How you gonna wanna be a cheater and be scared that your husband gonna find out? You just created so much commotion tonight. Somebody could have ended up.
Mendeecees only brought it up because he was cornered and embarrassed. Others framed it like a panic confession, suggesting he was trying to control the story before somebody else dropped receipts. Either way, the accusation painted Tamar as reckless, Mendeecees as reckless, and Yandy as the one left cleaning up the public mess. And then, like clockwork, fans started dragging Funky Dineva into it, because whenever there's a scandal with moving pieces, people want a narrator they trust, someone they believe has the real timeline. According to the chatter, Funky had been hinting at T, teasing that he had information, claiming he could tell it all if pushed. Whether that was true or just performance, it created pressure. Viewers started saying Mendeecees was talking because he was scared of what Funky might reveal. That became a whole storyline by itself. Not just cheating, but blackmail vibes, receipts, threats, and the kind of behind-the-scenes leverage that makes people confess things they would normally take to the grave. Again, no proof, no confirmed texts, just a loud rumor mill building a plot in real time. The crazy part is how quickly the internet assigned motives to everybody. Tamar was painted as either careless or targeted. Mendeecees was painted as either guilty and scrambling or set up and spiraling. Yandy was painted as either the wronged wife or a woman finally fed up with years of excuses. And the fans? They were not neutral. They were choosing teams, writing think pieces and captions, and treating every blurry clip like courtroom evidence. People claimed there were screenshots floating around, and even if nobody could confirm them, the idea that they existed was enough to keep the suspense alive. Behind all of it was a simple question that kept repeating. Why would Mendeecees admit anything on camera if it wasn't going to blow back on him? In the comments, people said the confession. Others said it sounded like guilt. A few said it sounded like somebody coached him. And then there were the ones who insisted it was all fabricated, a storyline being stitched together by blogs that no controversy equals clicks. But even if you believe that, the emotional fallout being discussed was still real, because once a rumor touches your name, you do not get to control who repeats it.
The situation also dragged other people into the conversation, because it always does. Fans started tagging cast members, asking who knew what and when. Some claimed friends in the circle were whispering that the vibe between Tamar and mendeecees had been inappropriate for a minute. Others claimed Yandy had been warning folks privately, but tried to keep it off camera. Nobody could confirm any of that, but it added layers to the story, the kind that make it feel less like random gossip and more like a long-building tension finally cracking in public.
The end of that first wave, the internet had turned a messy rumor into a full narrative arc. Tamar denies, mendeecees admits, Yandy erupts, Funky teases receipts, and the STI allegation sits at the center like a grenade nobody wants to touch, but everybody keeps pointing at. And while none of it was confirmed as fact, the pressure was real enough that people started watching for the next move. Would Tamar clap back? Would Yandy go live? Would mendeecees try to walk it back? Or would the so-called receipts finally drop in a way that forces somebody to speak plainly? Because right when the noise started to settle, one new message began popping up across multiple pages at the exact same time, and it changed the whole mood from gossip to alarm. Not a clean statement, not a clear denial, not even a calm explanation. It was the kind of vague, messy post that looks like it was typed with shaking hands, the kind that makes people lean closer to their screens because they can feel a blow-up coming. The post didn't provide proof. It didn't provide dates. It didn't provide names beyond what everybody was already screaming in the comments, but it hinted at a sensitive allegation and private details that were never supposed to leave a group chat. And the second that hint landed, the internet did what it always does. It filled in the blanks like it was writing its own episode. People started saying mendeecees was spiraling, not because he looked guilty in some confirmed way, but because the energy around him changed. Every time someone tries to control a rumor, it multiplies. Fans claimed he was moving like somebody who realized he had lost the steering wheel. One minute, the story was about an alleged link-up and disrespect. The next minute, it was about who knew what first, who warned who, and who was now trying to rewrite the timeline to save face. And in the middle of all that, Yandy was being discussed like a storm system you can see coming from miles away. According to the pages recapping the situation, Yandy's frustration wasn't just loud, it was specific. People said she wasn't only mad at the alleged betrayal, she was mad at the performance of it, the smiling in her face, the casual hangouts, the way things were described as happening right in front of her. Fans kept repeating the same idea. It wasn't the rumor that embarrassed her most. It was the feeling that she was being treated like she wouldn't catch on. And that is the kind of anger that doesn't fade with a quick apology. That is the kind that makes somebody say, nah, we're not doing this quietly. In the comment sections, viewers started crafting scenes in their heads like they were there. They imagined Yandy confronting mendeecees late at night, phone in hand, scrolling through posts and pausing on each one like it was a bruise. They imagined her voice going cold, not yelling at first, just asking questions in that slow way that makes the other person panic. So you want me to believe this is nothing. You want me to act like I didn't see what I saw. And the more fans pictured it, the more real it felt to them, even though it was still just chatter stacked on chatter. Then came the next twist, and this one didn't come from a direct statement either. It came from people claiming that friends in the circle were picking sides behind the scenes. You know how it goes. One person unfollows, another person posts a quote about loyalty, somebody